everybody, my name is Cutline3639. Welcome back to another video. Today, in this one, is going to be another deck profile video, and in this one, it's going to be on my 3-1-1 Infernoble Knight deck profile at my regionals that's been happening because, you know, they've been doing the regional things with, you know, the Flunderies mat and then, you know, the regional invites and stuff like that. So this is my deck profile on that. So yeah, very interesting. I was not expecting to do as good as I did with this deck because it's Infernoble Knights. Not a lot of people play it, but you know it can punish decks very severely. It makes a very good end board. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. At the end of the videos, I'll do my round by round as well if you want to know that. But a lot of people might be just here for the deck profile instead. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, starting off with the main deck. And we do have a glare a little bit because I'm recording this late at night, so I have my light up here just so you can see it. So I do apologize for that. But starting off with 3 Infernoble Knight Oliver, very good card. Play it at 3. I was one of those people that were thinking maybe you play this card at 2, but I am wrong about that. This card at 3 is very good. It's an extender, it's a tuner, it's a very good card. You want to play 3 of this. It can spell summon itself out, make a Hulk, you can, you know, equip itself to a warrior, make it a non-targeting stuff and stuff like that. Very good. Next, Infernoble Knight, we're playing 2 Infernoble Knight Renaud. A lot of people might play this at 3, and I do understand why, but in this case, I do like it at 2 because, you know, even though it can spell summon itself out when you have a Fire Warrior and then add back a Fire Warrior or a equip spell from your graveyard back to your hand, even though a lot of this deck is fire, it doesn't really come up straight away. You really want to use Renaud during the end of your combo because that's where you have most of your equip spells in your graveyard. Early on, if you have to special summon this self out, it's not really that good because there's not really that many equip spells in the graveyard just yet. So just playing at 2, I think it's fine at 2. If you want to play 3, I do understand if you do want to play it at 3 though. Next thing up, we're playing 1 Infernoble Knight Yugioh here. That's a little bit of a shine, so I'm going to put it down here. Very good card. We're only playing as a 1 of. It's not, well, I say it's a very good card. It's not that good, but we're playing it just because it's a nice normal summon. If you have like Renaud in hand, you can normal summon Yugioh, special dump a Fire Warrior or a Noble Arms card, go Renaud special to add back whatever the hell you sent to graveyard, and then basically just go into a Soul Day after that. Very good. It also gets you the non-destruction when it's equipped to a monster as well. So very good. And then our last Infernoble Knight here is Infernoble Knight Astful. Again, a little bit of an interesting choice with this one. The reason why I'm playing this is because I don't have a third Fire Flint Lady. Well, I do. I just can't find my third Fire Flint Lady for some reason. So we're just playing a Astful in that case. Instead, it's still a nice extender because you can banish a Fire Warrior from your graveyard, special summon out Astful, and then all of a sudden you can just keep going with your combos. But the only thing with Astful, you basically have to have graveyard set up, so if you draw it first turn, you have no way to summon it out, then it's pretty much dead. But it also can make you into like into synchro plays without even going into your combos and stuff like that. Still, very good card. Some people do play this unironically, but I just don't have a third Fire Flint Lady, so I was not playing 3 Fire Flint Lady. I was just playing that instead. But that was it for the Infernoble Knights. Very small package of Infernoble Knights, but you don't really need much for it. Now on to just another powerful normal summon here. We are playing 3 Neo Space Connector with an Aqua Dolphin as well. Very good. This is very good. This is honestly the reason why I like playing this deck, is just this combo by itself. Because this basically has to force out a hand trap straight away. If you normal summon the Neo Space Connector, if they have like a Valor or an Ash Blossom, they basically have to waste it straight away. And that basically gets that hand trap out of your opponent's hand, so you can make a Soul Day and have easy access with that. Very good card. It gets you the hand knowledge as well, so you know what you're playing up against and stuff like that. There was an instance in the regionals where I went this, activated the effect, and the guy immediately scooped because he didn't want to know. He didn't want me to know what he was playing. So very good. Do definitely want to play this because, again, gets you the hand knowledge. You can make a Soul Day straight away as well. So that is a powerful normal summon we're playing in the deck. Now on to just some extenders here. We're playing 3 Super Quantum Red Layer. Again, just a very good card. It's a Fire Warrior that can spell summon itself out. That's the only reason why we're basically playing this card. If control no monster, spell summon himself out. Very, very good. We're also playing him for like shooting riser reasons and stuff like that. But again, once we get into the combos, I'll show you that. We're playing 2 Fire Flint Lady as well. Again, aforementioned, I said this before, we're playing 2. Again, I would play 3 if you had the third one, but an Astral is fine. 2 Fireflame, again, if you control a warrior monster, spell summon this card, can just help you extend and stuff like that. Very, very good. So those are some extenders for you. And then for the powerful main deck monster, we're playing Immortal Phoenix Gearfried here. Very, very good card. Gets you the monster negation. Something like if you draw this going first, you can automatically just banish like something like an equipped spell, summon this out, equip a equipped spell onto itself, and then basically have a monster negation when you're going first, so you can go, do your combo. Don't have to be afraid of Nibiru or something like that. Very, very good. It's also, with going second, you can usually add this off of Captain Royland, which is very good to have going second as a follow-up as well. So we are playing 2 of that. Now on to another choice that this deck might not be playing in some versions, but I am playing in this, is the Phantom Knight. We're playing 1 of Torn Scales, Ancient Cloak, and Silent Boots. It might be a very interesting thing, but there's a reason why we are playing this, and again, once we get to the combos, we will do it. But the reason why we're basically playing this is because we can make Appaloosa during our turn and then still go full combo with this. Again, once we get into the combos, we will show you that, but that's the reason why we are playing it. It's very, very, very good. Again, a lot of people wasn't expecting this. Like, one of the players was very surprised to see the Phantom Knight package in this deck. But again, a Soul Day can bring out any warrior monster from your deck, so that's why we're playing it. And there are been some Phantom Knight packages that have been playing equipped spells just because a Soul Day can pull it out and stuff like that. But that is it. For our last 2 monsters here, we're playing a Deskbot and an Auroradon. Ooh, shit, nearly dropped my camera there. Let me move that back here. We're playing a Deskbot and a Colt Wing because, again, we're playing the Auroradon package. That's why we're playing it. Deskbot pull out Hulk, pull out Deskbot, and then make Auroradon, and then basically pull out Colt Wing later on and stuff like that. Very, very good. So, yeah, that's why we are playing that package there. Now on to the spells and traps here. We are going to go ahead and start off with 3 Dark Ruler No More. Again, I was playing this because we're playing no hand traps in this deck. You can't really play hand traps without making this deck a brick fest. So I decided for going second place, we're going to be playing Dark Ruler No More in the main deck. It very much did show up too. Like, if I lose die roll, I would somehow always draw the Dark Ruler No More. Very much helped in those instances to help me play through those games. But now on to more just of the Infernoble Knight spells and traps that you usually see in this deck. We are playing 3 Heritage of the Chalice. Again, just a very nice searcher because we are playing the Infernoble Knight. Heritage of the Chalice can search that. We're also playing Durandal, which surprisingly this card can actually search. It doesn't really come up, but you don't. You're usually searching like Oliver or Renaud. But it is a thing that you can do with it if you need to get an equipped spell into Graveyard. And then next things up, we're going to our equipped spells now. We are playing that Durandal. Again, just another searcher for our Infernoble Knights. It can actually search any level 5 or lower Fire Warrior monster, so it can like search Super Quantum Red Layer as well. Very, very good. You're playing those searchers. I'm not playing Rhoda in this deck. I mean, that's probably a mistake, but we're playing so much searchers anyways, it really doesn't matter. We're playing 6 searchers right now. And then for more equipped spells, we're playing 3 DDR. Again, very fucking ridiculous card. I like playing this at 3 because even if you draw it going first, it's just more of an extender. You don't have to search it with something like Power Tool and stuff like that. Very, very good card. The fact that this card is not once per turn and then it also doesn't negate the effects of the monsters it summoned is absolutely just fucking ridiculous. DDR absolutely needs to be a 3 of in this deck. We're playing 2 Living Fossil. Again, a card that some people might be playing at 1, but I'm fine with playing at 2 because it is an extender because you're most likely getting something into Graveyard. So Living Fossil is that extender for you, and then you can search it off Power Tool if you already have like a DDR in hand. You can do, search your Living Fossil instead. So very, very good. And for some one-ofs, equipped spells, we're playing the Phoenix Blade. Again, this is just a nice discard engine. It's not once per turn, surprisingly. That's absolutely just that fucking fucking dumb, I would say. And then we're playing the Metal Silver Armor as well because we're playing the non-targeting lock that this deck does for you. So that is it for the entire main deck. We are, or not entire main deck, for the entire spells. We are playing one more card here. We're playing a Shane Brigadine. Again, it's just a nice extender because you are playing warriors in this deck, but it's also nice in this deck because you're playing the Phantom Knight package, so the Phantom Knight package can actually search this out for you, so very, very good. Now on to the extra deck here. So let me just pull this out. Starting off with the Link Monsters, we're playing 2 Isolde. Again, just the absolute main reason this deck is very good is because of Isolde. Again, basically search you a warrior monster that you can use for discard fodder during your turn, and then you can send equip spells and spell summon a warrior from your deck, which is just absolutely fucking ridiculous. Very, very good. You do want to play 2 of it. We're playing 1 Hulk. Again, this is to pull out your Despot and go into your Auroradon package, which, speaking of Auroradon, we are playing Auroradon as well. Again, just this package is a little too good. Even with the Cult Wing Brick, this deck is very, this package is very, very good just to get 3 tokens to start synchro summoning out a lot. Next thing up is Nightmare Unicorn here. Very, very good card in this deck. Again, that's because we're playing the access code, but Unicorn itself is very good because you can discard, spin a card before you even make your access code talker, which again, thank God I got its reprint. Thank God I actually pulled it out of my boxes of gold as well. Access code talker, very, very fucking ridiculous card, especially in this deck because you can, with the Phantom Knight engine, you can bring out access code talker before you even go fully into your combo, which is very, very nice. And then for our last Link monster, again, I didn't mention it before, we are playing an Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess. Again, a lot of Infernoble Knight decks might not be playing this, but again, it's very good, especially in this deck, because if you make Apollousa and then get the non-targeting stuff, something like Chalice in Imperm cannot hit Apollousa, which is very, very nice in this deck. And that's the reason why people are playing Chalice and stuff like that, is because of Apollousa. But now with this deck, where it basically prevents targeting, Apollousa is perfectly safe in this deck. But that is it for the entire Link lineup here. We're not playing a lot of Links, but we're playing way more Synchros than we are playing Link monsters here. We're now going on to the Synchros. We're playing 1 Herald of the Arclight. Again, we can pull this out. Very, very interesting because, again, we have Despot and the Mechana Phantom Beast tokens are level 1 or level 3, so you can pull out Herald of the Arclight. There's other ways to pull it out in this deck as well. We have 1 Captain Royland. Again, this is very nice because it gets you a search during the end phase once it's summoned, and they can also get you a quick effect equipped to a warrior monster you control, gains 500 attack, which is very nice because it gets Charles triggers during your opponent's turn to pop a card they control, so very, very nice. We're playing a Power Tool Dragon as well. Again, this is here just to search equip spells, and that's the reason why it's in here. We're playing the equip spells that are very good, and Power Tool searches it out very, very nicely. We're playing a Shooting Riser Dragon. Again, this is more just for your combo to make go into Charles. Again, we'll show you in the combo. This basically just sends Super Quantum to make Royland, and then Royland go into Charles. So it's basically in here just to make Charles, and that's about it. We're playing 1 Borreload Savage Dragon. Again, a very good card just for the Omni Negate and stuff like that. So yeah, it's worth playing in this deck. We're playing 1 Omega. Again, we're playing Omega in here since you do get hand advantage or hand knowledge of your opponent with the Aqua Dolphin. If you see something like a Dark Roller No More or a Forbidden Droplet, you can go into Omega and try to hit that card out of your opponent's hand, which is very, very nice. So we're playing that in the deck. And then for our last Synchro monster, we are playing the Infernoble Knight Emperor Charles. Again, this is the boss monster of the deck. Helps you get a pop during your opponent's turn, and then helps you set up that the non-targeting lock during your opponent's, just in general, which is very nice. So very good to play in this deck. So yeah, that is it for the entire Synchro pool. Let me just quickly organize my extra deck because I like to keep my extra deck organized. We are playing 1 more card in the extra deck, and we're playing an XYZ monster. We are playing Abyss Dweller. Again, this didn't really come up, but you can make a rank 4 in this deck, and Dweller is just the most powerful rank 4 in this current meta because a lot of graveyard strategies do depend on this, so making the Dweller could be very, very nice, but I didn't really pull it out in the regionals. So again, if you want to cut that, you can. But that is it for the entire deck. But now onto the side deck. Again, this could be whatever the hell you want it to be. We're playing 3 Droll Lockbird, 3 Nibiru, 3 triple tactic talents. Again, this is an interesting choice to put in the side deck. Again, I didn't want talents in the main deck, because if I go second, it's probably not going to be that good. I'd rather have Dark Roller No More than triple tactics. But if I know I'm going first, then I like tactics in the main deck instead. If you don't want to play the Phantom Knight engine, you can take out the Phantom Knight engine except for like Shade, and then put in talents in the main deck and just do Dark Roller and talents in the main deck. That is pretty nice, but I do like my Phantom Knight package in here, so that's why it's in the side deck. We're playing 3 Twin Twister. Again, a lot of people might be playing Lightning Storm in this deck, but I like Twin Twister just a little bit better because a lot of people are playing Anti-Spell Fragrance in an IO, so just having a quick play to get rid of those cards are very nice. But we are playing a Harpy's Feather Duster as well because it's just a powerful fucking card. We're also playing a red reboot for those back row decks as well. And then my last card in my side deck can literally be fucking anything. Honestly, it would be a Pinkertops for me if I was able to find it, but I couldn't find it, so I literally have one copy of Evenly Matched in here. I didn't want to play IO because it does fuck up this deck very much, so that is something. But again, the side deck can be whatever the hell you want it to be. It just depends on what you're scared of the most here. As you can see in this, I was scared of back row, the Lairless Tri-Brigade Drytrons, and just Nibiru, just because the combo decks get fucked by Nibiru a lot as well. My bad, I just like to keep these organized. So that is it for the entire main deck. Now I'm going to get into some combos with the deck, why the Phantom Knight package is in here, and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get straight into that. Alrighty, now on to the combo portion of the video here. So this is going to be a little bit staged. You know, the deck's a little bit not, random. But this is just to show you what the deck can do. We're not going to be playing against any negations or something like that. This is just to show you what the deck can do and its power and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and do our starting hand here. We got a Neospace Connector, Chalice, a Renaud, a Gearfried, and a Fire Flint lady here. So we'll move our starting hand in the upper left corner here. And then we'll go ahead and start off with the Neospatian Connector. Trigger its effect. We'll go ahead and special summon that Aqua Dolphin out. Trigger Aqua Dolphin. We'll discard the Gearfried here. And then we'll go ahead and link 2 just to get that hand knowledge. You know what I mean. I will make my bed. I forgot this is a little bit organized too. We'll go into a Soul Day here. I know it's a little cut off from the camera, but you can kind of see it's a Soul Day. Trigger a Soul Day effect. We'll add the Super Quantum Red Layer to hand here. And then we'll trigger a Soul Day effect. We're going to send 3 for cost, a Phoenix Blade, a Metal Silver Armor, and a Living Fossil to Graveyard to special summon a level 3. We're going to go ahead and special summon a Torn Scales from deck. Again, this is going to show you the power of this combo here. So we're going to go ahead and trigger Phoenix Blade effect. We'll banish the Neospatian and the Aqua Dolphin to add Phoenix Blade back to hand, and then immediately trigger Scales effect, discard the Phoenix Blade, and we'll go ahead and dump Ancient Cloak, and then we'll trigger Ancient Cloak effect, banishing itself to add Silent Boots to hand, and then we'll go ahead and special summon that Silent Boots here, and then immediately go ahead and make a rank 4, go ahead and make an Apollousa here. Again, just a little bit off camera, but you kind of see it's an Apollousa. So, alright, so now we'll go ahead and do a Silent Boots effect here. We'll go ahead and add ourselves a Shade Brigadine to hand here. And then we'll go ahead and trigger Scales effect, special summon himself back out here. And then we'll go ahead and activate Heritage of the Chalice here. And we'll go ahead and search ourselves a Infernoble Knight Oliver. And then we'll trigger Oliver effect. We'll discard the Super Quantum Red Layer to summon out Oliver. And then immediately go into a Link 2. And Torn Scales will be banished here because of its own effect here. Go ahead and make Hulk. Hulk effect will trigger. We'll go ahead and summon a Death Spot. We'll go into a Link 3 here. We'll go ahead and make a Rorodon. And then Rorodon effect will go ahead and summon 3 tokens from out of nowhere. And then we'll go ahead and trigger that Deskbot effect in Graveyard to special summon himself back out. Then we'll go ahead and make a Synchro 7 here, go into a Power Tool Dragon, trigger Power Tool. Now we have 3 DDR in deck, so we're going to add a DDR, but just to show you, here's 1, here's 2, and then here's the 3. So we'll put these 2 to the bottom, and I accidentally just moved my camera. Let me do that. So we'll add DDR to hand here. We'll trigger a Rorodon effect. We'll go ahead and Tribute 2 here will trigger the Auroradon and the Power Tool. Go ahead and summon out that Colt Wing. Colt Wing effect will trigger summon 2 tokens. And then we'll go ahead and do Despot 1's effect again, because that's not once per turn to summon out. And then we'll go ahead and Synchro Summon for 7 here. And go ahead and make ourselves a Shooting Riser. Trigger Shooting Riser. We'll dump ourselves a Super Quantum from deck to make it a level 2 here. And then we'll go ahead and Synchro for a 5 to make a Captain Royland. Will trigger its effect, but it won't resolve until the end phase. And then go into a 9 to make an Emperor Charles. We did all that just to make an Emperor Charles, but it gets a little bit better here. So we'll go ahead and do Divine Sword Phoenix Blade effect here. We'll banish Oliver and Super Quantum to add that card back to hand here. And we'll go ahead and then do DDR effect here. We'll discard this Phoenix Blade to summon Oliver back out. And then we'll go ahead and we'll activate the Shade, then immediately go into either an Overlay or a Synchro. It's up to you. That's why I said you can make Abyss Dweller in this deck here. And then we'll go ahead and make ourselves a Borreload Savage Dragon. And then since we control a Fire Warrior, we'll special summon out that Renaud. We'll trigger Renaud effect. We'll go ahead and add this DDR back to hand. And then we'll go ahead and then trigger Phoenix Blade effect again. We'll go ahead and banish ourselves. We'll banish another red layer. And we'll go ahead and banish... We'll banish this Gearfried. Why not? To add it back to hand here. So it gets added back. And then we'll go DDR effect. Discard the Phoenix Blade one more time to go ahead and summon out Neospatian Aqua Dolphin. Special summon out the Aqua Dolphin here. And then we can trigger Aqua Dolphin effect because it's not once per turn. We'll discard the Fire Flint Lady. That's just an extender that we had. And then we'll look at the hand again. We can discard anything again. And then we'll go into another Synchro Summon and make ourselves Herald of the Arclight here. So then we'll go ahead and equip Oliver from the graveyard here. Where is Oliver? Equipped Oliver to Charles here. And then we'll go ahead and I forget to do Borreload's effect. I'm an idiot. Do not forget this, but again, we're just doing some test hands. We would equip Auroradon to make it gain 3 counters. So do not forget about that, but I did because I was just kind of speeding through the combo here. And then we'll go to end phase. We'll trigger Charles effect, and then we'll equip that a Metal Silver Armor. And then we'll go ahead and equip an Ogier from deck. And then we'll go ahead and then resolve Royland effect. We'll go ahead and add Immortal Phoenix Gearfield by discarding. Let me quickly go through the deck. We'll discard a DDR here. And we'll have it Gearfried in hand there. So we'll just put that back up there. And that's basically your end board here. So basically... because of this entire combo, let me just put this on top of the graveyard here. So basically you have 3 Material Appaloosa, you have 2 Omni Negates with a Borreload and a Arclight, you have 2 cards ripped from their hand thanks to Aqua Dolphin. They cannot target any monsters on field or graveyard with card effects because of the Metal Silver Armor Oliver locked with this here. And then we have a quick effect pop, activate Royland in graveyard, equip to Charles, trigger Charles effect to quick effect pop a card on field. Very, very good board here. So yeah, now let's go into me explaining my matchups in the regionals. Alrighty, now I'm just into the end of the video here, just explaining what my matchups were in the regionals here. So if you just want to hear me talk, I'll have the deck profile just in the background here on Dueling Book if you want to look at it again one more time. But yeah. So basically, we're just here to explain what my matchups were for regionals. But before we get into that, I wanted to explain why the fuck I even use this deck in the first place. So I've been playing with Phantom Knights recently. I've been playing with it a lot, but I don't know. The deck just doesn't really speak out to me right now. You know, I just have a breaking problem with it. So I decided just to wait until something like Brave Tokens come out in January to even pick up that deck again. So I've been trying different decks out in on Dueling Book and stuff like that. And I remembered that I had Infernoble Knights built up from last year, when it was meta with Smoker Native the Thief and Link Ross still being legal and stuff like that. So I decided to, pick this up, give it a try. I went to locals with it, went 4-1 with it. Very much loved the deck at locals. Went 4-1. My only loss ended up being to Sword Soul, and it wasn't really because of the Sword Soul cards. It's because Anti-Spell Fragrance, kind of fucks this deck, and especially when you draw 4 of your 5 cards end up being spells in that case. Ends up really fucking you over in that case. That was my only loss in that entire tournament. I versed like Lairless Tri-Brigade, won that. Versed Virtual World, won that. I versed Striker, won that. And then I versed Phantom Knights, surprisingly playing that, the DDD monster and stuff like that with the rank up and shit like that. Played that, won all those, and my only loss went to Sword Soul at locals. But for my regionals, I actually was very last second. Didn't figure out regional because I played the regional online, which was hosted by Grandmaster. So I figured out very, very late about the regional. So I ended up scrambling to make a deck. I was going to build Sword Soul and bring it to the regionals, but I couldn't make the deck list in time. And not randomly, I had the deck list ready for Infernoble Knights on the deck list because I made it last year for the Infernoble Knight. So I took out a couple cards and then put in the replacement cards and basically had the deck ready to go. So ended up using Infernoble Knights. My round 1 ended up versing Lairless Tri-Brigade. What happened in that matchup? I think I ended up winning the rock, paper, scissors. Basically Gamma ended me that game 1. I went into an Assault Day. He activated Gamma. I had an extender. I think I had Fireflint Lady. So if he had Impermed or Ash it, because he Gammaed its first effect to add a card from deck to hand. Figured that out a lot recently, that people were actually going to negate its first effect and not its second effect. Do not do that. If you versed Infernoble Knights, wait until Assault Day's bottom effect activates. That's the one you want to hit, because usually whatever they add off of their top effect, they're usually just going to use for discard fodder, because they can't use the warrior they add to hand the same turn that they added the card to him. So don't negate that. Use negate its bottom effect. That's a lot more hurtful, because that's why we're playing 2 Assault Days, just in case they negate its top effect. We can just make another one go into its bottom effect. But basically, he gammaed its top effect, so I can use its bottom effect. But since Assault Day left the field and I only had one other warrior to special summon, I couldn't make another Assault Day, so I basically just passed to him, and he just went full combo, basically got fucked over. So we went to game 2 there. In game 2, I still ended up breaking very hard. I drew a Gear Freed. I used Gear Freed to go into my combos. I used special Gear Freed and then went to Assault Day. So that was unfortunate. But he drew no hand traps, thankfully. So I basically went full combo. I set up the Appaloosa, and you got the Boral Sword plus the Charles. He basically admitted defeat to that. He didn't even want to play through that. Basically, we went to game 3. In game 3, I drew Nibiru and Droll and Lockbird, which again just very much hurts that deck. I ended up drawing him, still nearly played through it, and I ended up Nibiruing him, completely ended his turn, and then I basically just went had starters, made an access code talker before I went fully into the combo, and then basically sealed up the match from there. It was a very good game 1 win against a very good deck in today's meta. Round 2, I ended up versing what did I verse round 2? It was Unchained. I versed Unchained. That was surprising to see. I know a lot of people might it's a good rogue deck, but basically I 2-0'd it because if you don't destroy their cards by card effects, basically fucked you. He de-shifted me game 1 because I went first again. He de-shifted me, and I passed back to him. He didn't kill me. He passed back to me. Had the entire combo. He only had that Link 2 monster that they play that lets you basically IP Masquerena during their turn. But basically, I summoned Super Quantum Red Layer and then try to go to battle to hit over it. That basically forced him into activating that Unchained monster because I can only activate during the main phase. So basically, got that out. Didn't really have to play against anything else. So basically, took up game 1. Game 2, he went first. He set 3 past, and it was Imperm, a D barrier, and then he had a set monster as well. I spin the monster back with Unicorn, and then made an access. He impermed it, which was fine because I could still go full combo. And right when I was about to go full combo, he goes D-Barrier, which was also fine because I also had Gearfried in him. So Gearfried plus like Access Code Talker with Hulk and Deskbot basically sealed up the game because Deskbot at that point was 1500 because it's gaining 500 from himself and Hulk and Fibrex. Then Gearfried was at 3k. So it was 1545. Hulk was at 15, so that's 6k, and then Access for 23 would have been enough as well. So took that game very easily. Round 3, I ended up versing another Leerless Tri-Brigade player. I think he ended up winning rock, paper, scissors. He went full combo, basically had nothing. Game 2, I went first. I played through multiple hand traps, got into a decent board, and he basically scooped it up from there as well. And then game 3 was very interesting. My bad. Reverse it. I went first. I went full combo. He won. And then game 2, he went first and won. My bad. I confused it because game 3, I ended up going first. Again, there's no way the Leerless would let me go first, so it had to be the opposite way around. So game 3, I went first. And basically had the Neospacian Aqua Dolphin. Look at his hand. His hand was a Fractal, a Warbler, a Called By 1-for-1, and Dark Roller No More. That Dark Roller No More was a problem. So I Aqua Dolphin, get rid of the Warbler, and then I went into the full combo, got Aqua Dolphin back onto the field to make a get rid of the Fractal, and then I went into an Omega to get rid of one of his cards and try to hit Dark Roller No More. Unfortunately, I did not hit Dark Roller No More. I hit 1-for-1, which basically was the second best thing out of that hand. A Called By the Grave was basically dead. I don't play hand traps, so I don't care. But I I banished the 1-for-1. I made a Herald of the Arclight. So I had Apollosa, Charles with the non-targeting shit, and then Herald of the Arclight, and he was on Dark Roller No More and Called By the Grave. Basically, Called By was dead. Dark Roller, sure, but if you have no starter, you're basically fucked. He drew into nothing and then just scooped. He was very pissed. When I had him loot him 3 times without Smoke Grenade, the deck is still somewhat of a problem. So 3-0 at this point. Very, very good. My next one, round 4, ended up being against Flunderies. Now that's a very, very potent deck. He went first. He set up N-Pen. Barrier Statue, had the trap, the one that lets you normal summon during your opponent's turn, and he also got the Harpy's Featherstorm as well because he potted Duality, got a Harpy's Featherstorm. So basically, I drew Dark Roller No More, which was very nice because negates the N-Pen and the Barrier Statue, but the Storm was still somewhat of a problem, so there was no way I was going to play through that. Went into game 2. Game 2, I drew my hand. It was a very nice hand, but then he goes, activate D-Shifter. Yeah, I basically have to admit defeat to that, because D-Shifter, I can play through a Nibiru, because that's why the Phantom Knight package is in here. I can play through a Droll. I can sometimes play through Lancia. I cannot play through D-Shifter. That's just a problem, because I need my graveyard. So I basically passed to him, and he had basically the same exact fucking hand like he did in game 1. So, very bad 2-0 loss for me. So that's my first loss. I went 3-0 and 1 now. Now we go into round 5 where I versed a Sword Soul player. Game 1, I ended up going first. Basically, set up, go full combo. Try to play through it with his Sword Soul. Didn't really matter. Basically had game locked. He actually somewhat broke my board as well, but the problem was he passed back to me. I made access, clear the board, and then basically finish him out from there. So that's unfortunate for him. Game 2, he went first. He set 3 with a the Grandmaster, the Synchro 8 for Sword Soul. Yeah, he actually played around Nibiru. I had Nibiru in hand. He even added Long One to hand. So I'm like, oh, cool, I get a free Nibiru here. That's going to be very nice. But then he just set 3 past. So I'm like, oh, so he's playing around Nibiru. And he played it smart because I did have the Nibiru. I equipped metal silver armor to his monster, and basically he tried to like chalice and all this shit, but metal silver armor prevents that except for the card that it's equipped to. So yeah, so that was very interesting. So he basically could not target. He had chalice, imperm, and the Grandmaster also targets. So that ended up kind of fucking him, but he activated Blackout, and that actually does get around the metal silver armor lock. But since Blackout actually wants more than one target, it gets around metal silver armor. Because metal silver armor says if it specifically targets one monster, then you can't use it. But if it targets multiple, then it's fine. We did have to get a judge for that, and the judge did agree with that. So the Blackout is basically the only thing that fucking saved him from doing that. He even had IO as well, because he was like, okay, I'm just going to activate IO before we call a judge so we don't have to worry about this. I'm like, cool, I'll go Twin Twister, discard Dark Roller no more so I don't have to worry about that. He's like, well, we're going to call that judge then. So after that, he Blackout, and that ended up fucking me. So I had to scoop up from there. Round 3 is when time was called. So I basically went first, drew talent with the Aqua Dolphin. So I went Neospace Connector, trigger its effect to try to summon out Aqua Dolphin. He Ash Blossom the Neospace Connector. I'm like, cool, we'll go triple tactic talents here. And we'll look at your hand. His hand was 2 Soul Soul Emergence, Pod Desires, and a Blackout. I'm like, oh, that is unfortunate, because time was called, and I'm like, okay, if time's called, I'll just go into an Aqua Dolphin, rip one of his monsters, inflict 500, and win the game that way. But he had no monsters in hand for me to rip, so that was very unfortunate, so we had to just basically leave it at a tie. And if time wasn't there, I basically won that game anyways, because I shuffled back the Desires, and he was on Emergence and Blackout, and my board was going to absolutely be Apollosa with a Boral Sword and a Charles, and I also had Gearfried in hand as well. So just an also very, very good end board with that, and against 2 Emergence and a Blackout, that would have basically sealed up the match. But time did get called, and he had no monsters for me to rip out with Aqua Dolphin, so we basically had to call it a draw. There was one more round for us to play, but I ended up dropping because I just wanted the invite. I didn't really care about the mat, because the top 8 was going to get the mat, and then the top 4 was going to get the invites. Now, I was just there to get the invite. I didn't really care about the mat. I don't really care about the Flynderese map. I kind of like the mats that I have. I have the Zombie World mat, I have the YCS mat that you just saw, and I also have a Burst of Destiny mat in there as well. So I like the mats I already had, so I didn't really care about the mat. If I really did care, I can go into that round and probably ended up getting a top 8 finish if I wanted to. But I just ended up, because I had to go to work like 2 hours before, so I'm like, let's just go prepare for work. Let me drop from the tournament, and then let me go prepare for work. But again, 3-1-1 is still not bad. That was way better than what I was expecting. This deck is very, very good. I went on a long tangent. 13 minutes. Holy shit. Just for me talking. But yeah, if you did stay this long, thank you so much. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more content, even though I'm barely uploading on the channel. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one.